Guten Morgen, buenos dias, good morning. It's already midweek and we have already started the week exactly the way we had hoped for. Bright and wonderful, and that is because of you.
I was actually thinking you were going to add Inakwana.
Everything in my rama.
Well, it's another edition of our Wonder Women Wednesday. I like to call it the takeover.
Yes, yes.
Let me do the...
Don't fall. It's okay, it's okay.
You should let me pull this thing off.
Try.
Yes. We have the ladies of the show. Yes, here we take control of every single second. And we hope we won't dazzle you, because that's the plan.
Yeah, we have somebody dazzling and radiant, the dynamite in the kitchen. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you ladies doing?
Very well, thank you.
How you doing this morning?
Fantastic. It's another wet Wednesday, I have to say. Everywhere is just drenched.
Okay, so
take
Wet Wednesday.
Very wet Wednesday.
In the air. And most of you might agree that women tend to be quite meticulous with handling things. And in the spirit of all things great, we intend to lift you up by making sure that you start your day the right way.
Welcome, as usual. We have a well-curated 1 hour, 45 minutes of the very best in family entertainment. We will be holding nothing back, so brace yourselves.
There's no need to think any further. Welcome. Sit back and enjoy the event of the day on our Wonder Women Wednesday. My name is Tokwe Olowoniyo.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
Yes, now remember, you can absolutely watch us from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet connection from our mobile app. Now that's available on iOS and Google Play Store, and you can take us on the go with you.
That's right. We also implore you to follow us across all social media handles, okay? Not just communicate with us, but follow us as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Okay, no, not Twitter, not Twitter. Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
At TVC Connect. So you know what? You can help us replace Twitter. With those of you that refuse to follow us, just subscribe on YouTube.
Yes. You should do that.
Just subscribe.
And what you benefit from YouTube is you get to binge watch your favorite segments. Every edition that's passed, you get to watch everything and catch up with us. Now, Mary, what do we have for the next 1 hour, 45 minutes?
A lot, actually. I believe you already have the very first. That's Ine.
Yes.
Hey.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine. Now, I saw something about on Single Street. So I'm looking at Tokwe now. And I posted on the group earlier. I'm not sure if you saw it. So there was this list of reasons why people are still single. I was like, are these still the reasons? It feels like the reasons have not changed for a long time. Okay, so the question came up online, why are you single? And then there are 10 or 9 options. One says by choice. One says no one wants me. The other one says waiting for the right person. The other one says we just broke up, which is a common line. Then you have, I'm too ugly for a relationship.
Who says
then
that?
I pause and I'm like, wow.
Self-esteem issues.
Exactly.
Serious
self-esteem issues.
I was confused. And then after that, it says, I gave up on love. So that's why I paused.
That sounds like a Nigerian one. I beg, I don't give up on love.
I'm done.
Love is not for me.
I know it's for me.
See, all this relationship I'm doing, I'm not doing, and everything, at the end of the day, what counts is your happiness. Single is just an appellation. Married is just an appellation. Divorce is just an appellation. All sorts of stuff being said. The most important thing is for you to be happy. Your happiness is what counts. If you're happy, forget.
And then this thing is, you don't come to a relationship to look for happiness. Be
it
happy
has to
by
be
yourself.
you. Yes.
Because if you're waiting for someone to make you happy, you're giving the person power
over your
control
emotions.
your entire emotions.
Yes.
I'm single because I want to be free.
Oh!
In fact, this one, she's a freedom.
I just see that on the list.
Well, we'll take the weather now,
the
and
weather.
afterwards, the news. Make sure you stay with us.
It's about time for us to take the news update. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. We begin with President Muhammadu Buhari's appeal to countries in the West African sub-region and those in the Sahel, rocked by security challenges, to team up to confront the menace. The president spoke yesterday at the State House, Abuja, while receiving the new special representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Mr. Mahamat Saleh Anadif. Chadian describing the problems as enormous. And President Buhari noted that Boko Haram has exacted heavy toll in terms of lives and resources in Nigeria and some neighboring countries, while Mali equally has a large swathe of the country occupied by militants. President Buhari pledged the assistance of Nigeria to the special representative so that he could succeed in his assignment.
Very grateful that the President has retained the support of Nigeria as well as the personal commitment and the more of UNOWAS, and I look forward in this collaboration for the benefit of the people of West Africa and the Sahel.
Meanwhile, in the House of Representatives Joint Committees on Army and Defense has screened President Muhammadu Buhari's nominee for the position of Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya. The screening took place yesterday behind closed doors. Prior to the event, Major General Farouk Yahaya, in his introductory remarks, stated that contrary to public perception, there has been synergy among security agencies to tackle insurgency, especially since the emergence of the new service chiefs. Major General Yahaya also asked Nigerians to support the military in tackling the insecurity problem.
Comes at the heels of Nigeria's 22 years of interrupted democratic experience. I must say that the relationship between the National Assembly and the Armed Forces of Nigeria has progressively improved as the Parliament continues to exercise the necessary democratic oversight of the defense sector.
There is this allegation that the three services are not always working together in the past, which is probably one of the reasons why we've been having challenges in trying to curb this threat of insecurity.
This job is collective, and like you have seen in the Operation Hadenkai, and it was even captured in the vision of the Chief of Army Staff and in my own vision too. There was also mention of a joint environment in what we do, having realized that this job is not one service job.
Let's talk health now. The Nigerian government has reopened the administration of the first dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine after it was closed a few weeks ago. The Executive Director of National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, stated yesterday while updating Nigerians on the status of COVID-19 vaccinations. He calls on anyone from 18 years and above who has not been vaccinated to visit the nearest site for the first dose of the vaccine, asking those who have received their first dose to check their vaccination cards and proceed to the second dose, as the second dose vaccination will end on June 25th. According to him, 1,978,808 and 680,345 first and second doses of the vaccine have been administered by the agency respectively. Meanwhile, the NPHCDA boss has said that Nigeria will receive additional 3.92 million doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine latest in early August. Dr. Shuaib, however, did not give the exact dates as to when the delivery will take place, but said the information regarding timelines and details will be provided as soon as it's available. The NPHCDA boss raises alarm over the rise in COVID-19 cases in several African countries recently and calls on all Nigerians to continue to take precautions and prevent the spread of the disease. And that's all we have time for on the news update for this hour. But Mary has sports.
It is time for us to take a look at the covers of the papers this morning, and we are starting off with Daily Trust. West African Bank counters federal government, says 7 million Nigerians plunged into poverty. Faults CBN on forex crisis. We can't afford food, basic needs, say citizens. Presidency insists 10 million people lifted out of poverty. Inflation drops by 0.19% in May. NBS, tackle issue causing flooding. The photo story here showing Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria workers resuming work at the Federal High Court in Abuja yesterday after 2 months of strike. Also, we have a photo story showing the groundbreaking ceremony in Bonny yesterday for the External Relations and Sustainable Development Eyono Fatai Williams and NLNG Deputy MO Sadiq May Borno, an event that happened yesterday as well. How governors ruined our democracy, na Aba. CBN to mint currency for Gambia. My life under threat, says EFCC chairman. Parents of Tegina abducted pupils approach churches, mosques, and ask for donations. That's what we can take on the cover of Daily Trust. Moving on to The Punch. We have military bombards bandits in North Central forests. NAF bombs kills 500 cows, 200 missing in Nasarawa, alleges Mieti Allah. Report of 1,000 cows killed unrealistic, says NAF. Troops comb Castina forest. Photo story showing the vice president having an interview yesterday. Yesterday in Abuja. Pastor kidnapped by Boko Haram 8 months ago, freed in Borno. Experts blame insecurity as agri imports exceed exports by 503 billion naira. CEO absconds as forex firm allegedly defrauds 52 investors of 122 million. And finally, we are not aware a court has shifted election suit judgment, says Akeredolu PDP. Now that's all we can take in the covers of the papers for this morning. Welcome back.
Yeah, we are back.
Again.
We bring you back again.
With your busybody, eh?
Wow.
Mary encourages bad behavior.
There was something that came back yesterday. Yesterday we did a few birthday shout-outs on the show.
Yes, we brought
that came back. For all of you that have been requesting for birthday shout-outs.
And guess who launched it? Halima was number one. You know, yesterday was her birthday.
Of course I did.
Oh, you sent her a cake now, so you know yesterday was her birthday.
The official love of my life.
Yes, the two of them are dates. Yes. Okay, so
so for
what
all
are we
of
talking
you that
about?
want to send in your birthday shout-outs, you should do that on Facebook. Just make sure you put in our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on
we
TV.
Find it.
So
yes,
we
I
can
want
see
to talk about something that happened in my friend's life that I just happened to pick the call. If you're like me, don't pick your friends' calls at night when you know they'll be having a problem with their partner. So my friend calls me, and then she says, Talk about, do you remember when we were in school? And then my pink Crocs. I'm like, Crocs. No, my pink Crocs. She's like, okay, your pink Crocs that I like, that your mom bought for me. I'm like, yeah. She's like, hey, did I like pink Crocs? You just said it now. Your pink Crocs. And then she said, no, just say it. Say I like. I'm like, okay, you like pink Crocs. And then she says, why she's saying it is because her boyfriend is arguing with her that she doesn't like Crocs. And then he's like, I said, she actually really likes Crocs. And then he says, oh, I remember. She's not her. It's my ex. So apparently the conversation was he bought new Crocs and she was wondering why he didn't buy for her. And then he said, oh, I didn't buy for you because you don't like Crocs. And they kept going back and forth. And she says, call Tokwe. Tokwe knows that I like Crocs. So don't be like,
is that friend that knows everything.
Oh, my goodness.
And then, so the moment I just heard is my ex, and then the conversation started. So
you didn't know whether to hang up.
I didn't know whether to hang up because she said, so you are thinking about your ex when you are thinking about me. Oh, you're thinking about... I'm just like, good night, guys. Peace out.
You know this thing that you said there?
To
me, it's just like with your siblings. When you've been with someone for a very long time, you get so in tune with their habits.
Yes.
That when somebody else comes into the space, no matter how intimate it is, it still takes time to let go of that other person's idiosyncrasies and then embrace this new person. One.
Yes.
So she just has to be
exactly. Because I told her we have for 4 years, and you guys are just together for a year and 2 months.
Well, that's a long time too.
Come on, 4 years, 366 times 4.
Yes, 366 plus
so
10.
The issue now
Plus,
is,
yeah, plus 30, 1 month.
are you trying to say that he did something wrong?
I'm trying to say that it was not such a...
He did something wrong. He made a mistake.
How? Wait, making a mistake and deliberately doing something
Because
wrong
he didn't do it
is two
deliberately.
different-
No, he didn't
So
do it
there's an
deliberately.
argument now because he remembered something about his ex that, you know, could have
The
pertained
argument
to you
is,
too.
so he didn't buy it because he thought she did not like it. And then she's like, so she's now taking it from the angle of you were thinking about your ex. Sometimes I feel like we're the ones that like problem, like we like stress.
So if it was bra size, maybe he forgot her bra size or something like that, then I'll be like, okay,
That's deep.
that's a
That was
problem.
deep.
Oh,
This
deep
is
go.
shoe now, shoe.
No,
It's shoe.
let's
Whether
be
she
realistic.
like, it's not even the shoe size, it's whether she likes the shoe.
Preferences. See, this thing brings me to
Yeah,
something.
really.
Okay,
To each his
so
own.
you know my Sunday show. There's this the Solace calls that you and I
Yeah.
were talking about the other time. I have a problem with people not even knowing their partner's names.
Or full
Like
names.
you will tell me that you know your partner's name is Chris, but then his name is Darasimi, and then you say, I've heard him call himself Darasimi.
I've heard him.
And you guys are dating. It's the same thing. Look, many people these days, because they've been in and out of so many relationships, they get to a point that they become numb. So instead of even
They don't want
bothering
to
to
know.
find out, they don't even
Yes.
want to know.
Because you don't know how long it will last.
Exactly. So you start
that talking
confusing
stage.
this person. So talking stage before used to be a case of you will
I
know
want
each
to
other. You
know
even know
you.
the color of the person's eyes.
Okay.
But now,
All right.
So the one, okay.
But you can be
On
like
that
Misha,
note- on
skip
that
talking
note,
stage. What do
if,
you
for
want?
instance, you watched a movie and your partner hasn't watched it yet, be sure it's the right partner that did not
Don't
watch
say
it.
we watch this movie
Don't
together
say we
now.
watched it together.
Mary,
This thing you said.
Mary, you remember? Let's go on a break.
let's go on this break. We'll be back. We still Wake Up Nigeria. Okay, so Ineka Ogbo is here. She is a baby food entrepreneur, an investments manager, and a mother. Very important. And now, as a working mom, Ineka holds a business degree from the University of Stanford, Canada, and a certificate in child nutrition and cooking offered by Stanford University. Now, today, she will be discussing introducing solids at 6 months as a popular winning food option. And it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us today.
It's always my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
I see all you brought, and I'm very interested in this. We've been talking so much about food for babies when they're ready to stop just breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, and you're trying to like get them into the real world.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so this is more like descriptive. Let me allow you take it over from here. What is this about?
Okay, so I brought visuals today because I know a lot of parents are usually confused, and the best way to explain is by showing the examples. So I've displayed here what a typical meal could be for a 6-month-old baby. Some things to bear in mind is when introducing solids, parents want to be careful that they touch on 3 things. That the introduction of foods is timely, meaning at 6 months, not before, not after. That's very important, that it has to be at 6 months. You also want to make sure that you're being safe.
Why does it have to be at 6 months?
It has to be at 6 months because before that 6 months, your child is not ready for foods like this. Their organs are not ready to digest foods like this. So if you're giving them things like this, it's really hard on their system.
Okay.
After, it's a bit too late because at 6 months, the breast milk is no longer enough to sustain them. So you're depriving them of the nutrients that they require from foods. So that's why it needs to be at 6 months.
Okay.
Okay? And then the next thing is that it needs to be safe. So babies are very sensitive.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that you're using clean hands, observing hygienic practices. So for example, you want to separate raw meats from raw vegetables because of cross-contamination. You want to avoid things like that. Also, when serving your baby foods, you want to make sure that you're not keeping foods at room temperature for longer than 2 hours because foodborne bacteria can grow in those foods. So safety is very important because they're sensitive. And then the third thing is that it needs to be adequate. That's why I brought this today. Because when they turn 6 months, they need certain key nutrients, right? One of them being energy. So your carbohydrate will take care
That's
of
the
that.
potato.
That's
Sweet
the
potato
potatoes.
there.
Yes.
Okay.
Will take care of that.
Okay.
You know, at this age, they're doing a lot more crawling, exploring their environment. So they need that energy from their food. Okay. The next thing you want to make sure you have is iron. Iron is very important. So for a meal like this, you want to include things for iron, such as your liver. Liver is a great source of iron. Other flesh from animals as well, so meats. Iron can also be found in legumes and green leafy vegetables.
So it's okay to give a 6-month-old meat?
Oh, definitely. It's actually encouraged to offer them meats daily because that's a great source of iron. If they lack iron in their diet, they can become anemic, fall sick very easily. A lot of parents find that, oh, my child is getting sick, not recovering quickly. All of these things are as a result of the lack in iron in their diet. So you want to make sure that you have that in there. So meats, very essential. Okay. Then the third thing is vitamin A.
Vitamin A.
Very important for their eyesight, eye development. So you want to make sure that you get it from sources. They're usually available in orange flesh fruits and vegetables. So your carrots, pawpaw, mango, pumpkin, things of that nature. Unbleached palm oil, great sources of vitamin A. So you can include that in your baby's food as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? Let's do a more like a practical, okay? So I need you to describe what each measurement means and how we should use it, like when we're feeding the baby, what's enough for the baby for each meal.
Okay, so for example, with this, you only need about 1/4 cup of your carbohydrates, your vegetables, because at 6 months, their stomachs are still really small. So that blue cup there is 1/4, and that kind of explains how much your baby is going to start eating at 6 months.
That's blue cup is what you should give a baby.
Yes.
This one you're talking about, right?
Yes.
So this is what you should give the baby.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. So
most parents, when you're at 6 months, you're thinking, when the baby eats this amount, you're like, you've not eaten
anything.
And then you have this bowl, even something sometimes bigger than this, and you're like, you have to finish this food.
Yeah.
And then when you don't finish,
my baby
I have to say
eat.
to Yoruba, Waroku. So are you telling me this is enough?
Yes,
so children know exactly what's enough for them.
Exactly. So this is a starting point, this blue. Your goal is to walk all the way up to the red by age 1.
What?
Right? So you start here and let your baby decide how much they want to eat. So if they finish that, you can offer more. But if they don't, you kind of work with that.
You just insist on, okay, at least finish this one.
Yes, so this is a starting point, exactly.
So this goes from like 6 months.
Yes.
7 months.
Yeah.
Then starts getting bigger from 8 months.
So the yellow by 8 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Then 10 months. And then maybe like getting to the
closer
red.
to this. By age 1.
Wow.
So
I'm so glad you brought this because most parents don't know. Okay, so this yellow here is the average, is the midpoint.
Yes.
Wow. Most parents don't know. You just say to yourself, this child is not eating. No, just add like 3, tablespoons and the baby is fine.
The solid foods are complementary at this age. So they're still drinking breast milk or formula throughout the day. And they still get a lot of nutrients from that. So this is just adding on to that.
Now, when you have a baby that likes fruits, of course, at that point it's liquid. You're more or less squeezing the fruits, juices and all. Now, if you have a baby that likes that, can you include it? Like, say, for example, you have the puree, the sweet potato puree, carrot puree, the green pepper puree. We haven't talked about the bell peppers. You have that puree. Then just to sweeten it, you now put maybe like pineapple juice or orange juice. Is it okay? Or will it cause any problem?
So you're fine to do that. I would suggest the whole fruits, actually, because the juice is concentrated in sugar. Okay. The whole fruits has the sugars and the fibers present in the pineapple, for example. Okay. So you can include those. I always encourage parents to think outside the box because sometimes we want to offer what we are used to.
Yeah.
But for kids, you really need to focus on the nutrients. And the vitamin C, as you mentioned, is a great source. The pineapple is a great source of vitamin C, right? So not just the sweetness, it adds vitamin C, which, by the way, helps in the absorption of iron.
Wow.
So if you're adding it there, you're actually boosting that food more than you realize.
You know what, Ineka? I feel like this is a conversation that will probably go on and on and on. There is never enough time. If you want to learn more, just head straight to her social media pages, and I'm sure she'll be willing to respond to you. Thank you so much for your time, Ineka.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
It's always
much.
a pleasure.
Wow, learned a lot today. Okay, we're moving straight to the kitchen. No, we are not going to be making baby puree this morning. Titi's on standby with Chef Blossom.
All right. So, yes, we're not making a baby puree, but we are going to be having a very soft and succulent food with some of that orange color that she mentioned earlier on, filled with vitamin A, right? We have Chef Blossom in the kitchen with us today. Hey, Chef Blossom. From Blossom's Pots. Blossoms_Pots, Abby? Yeah, so it's always amazing having you in the kitchen. You're a regular here. You're a pro, you're a guru. So when you come in with all these ingredients, you know exactly what you're putting together. Talk to us about it.
All right, this morning we're making asaro.
Okay.
What we call it asaro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to be making something different.
Okay.
With my own recipe.
All right.
So here we have
Yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, we have our marinated beef.
Okay. How long has it been marinated for?
For say.
Okay. You know what? Let's go through the ingredients as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Let's go through the ingredients. We have salt, we have onions, we have palm oil, we have bell peppers, we have yam, Scotch bonnet peppers, seasoning cubes, smoked Titus fish as well. But, you know, if right now we skipped the smoked Titus fish for beef this time. All right, so you're using crayfish here, right? I can also see some other ingredients that we're going to definitely talk about. But I want to talk a bit about this beef. You said you marinated it for a while.
Yes, I marinated for, let's say, 12 hours.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes,
You marinated for
12 hours.
That's since yesterday.
Since yesterday, yes.
What did you put in the marinade?
In here we have seasoning cubes.
Yeah.
We have tamarind pepper.
Okay.
We have tamarind pepper. We have a paprika in it.
Okay.
And then chopped onions and garlic.
So that's it.
Yes.
Paprika, seasoning cubes, onions, and garlic. So chopped or like mashed or blend? Chopped.
Onions.
Okay, fantastic. So did you put it in a bag? Did you put it in a bowl? What
Yes,
did you
I put it in a Ziploc bag.
Okay. Did you freeze it or refrigerate it after?
I refrigerated it.
Refrigerate. Okay, because someone was actually arguing with me on that. That I put it in the freezer, it will spoil. I was like, beef can survive a few hours in the fridge. It is possible, as long as the fridge is on. Thank God. Okay, so let's go over the ingredients one more time. We have the blended pepper here.
Yes.
What went into that
We
pepper?
have a mix of different peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have our tatache, we have onions, bulk of onions. I like to use 20 onions
Okay.
for my asaro.
Okay.
We have onions here, we have ginger, a little because
Okay.
we already have in the marinated beef.
Okay.
We have ginger and garlic here as well.
Ugu leaf.
Yes, for garnish.
Garnish. Okay, fantastic. So what's the first thing we need to do? Let's get to it.
Okay, so we start by
Okay.
mainly because we want to use the beef stock.
Okay. So basically, you're not going to be using just ordinary water to cook the yam. You're going to be using beef stock.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, all right. Okay. At this point, I think it makes sense for us to stand by for this meat to get to the boil so we can have our beef stock, and then everything else is gonna start rolling. Thank you so much for staying with us. Wake Up Nigeria continues after this. Thank you, Abans. Now, that's what I'm talking about. We had a wonderful Wednesday performance for you already, and we are preparing a Wonder Woman Wednesday meal in the kitchen.
Yep.
Chef Blossom is here. It's always great to have you.
Thank you.
We're making asharo.
Asaro.
Asaro.
Yes.
Asharo. Asaro. And she's already started preparing
Yes.
with the beef.
Yes, like
For those that missed it, you said you did something to the beef earlier.
yes, it was marinated for 12 hours in the refrigerator.
Okay.
I had some garlic go into it, some Cameroon pepper, and a bit of salt.
Okay.
So you want to be careful with the salt, so you don't have extra salt in your porridge yam.
Okay.
Because you're going to, but majorly why we're doing this is because I want to use the stock water for the porridge. All right. So then we have our yam already peeled and soaked in the water, chopped yam. And you might want to ask why I have it chopped in bits, and that's because it's asaro. It's not regular porridge yam. Asaro is porridge yam that is mashed, properly mashed.
Okay.
You want to have some chunks in it, and you don't want to have. So that's
Beautiful.
about it.
For those that missed the list of ingredients earlier, we have here some blended pepper.
Yes.
With
Tatashe, that's the red bell pepper.
Yeah.
The scotch bonnet. And then onions.
Okay.
Bulk of onions in it.
For other ingredients, we have salt, we have palm oil, we have yam, and of course seasoning cubes. And today we're using beef and crayfish, not Titus fish today.
Yes.
We're using crayfish. There's also a little powder here.
That's a seasoning cube.
That's the seasoning cube. So
Yes,
you're using the powdered version.
Yes.
Not using the cubed version.
You know, I don't know what they produce these days. It's really, really hard to match it. So
Okay.
just want to ease yourself the stress of going through that.
All right. So the ugu you mentioned earlier is for garnish.
For garnish, yes.
But you know what I know to be garnish is after the meal has been cooked.
Yes, that's what we're going to use
That's
it
what
for.
you're going to use it for.
Yes,
You're not going to put it in the actual...
No.
Oh,
you don't
okay.
want to overcook your vegetables because you won't get the vitamins you need.
All right then. So what is the next thing for us to do?
Okay, we're waiting for this to cook properly. Then we'll take the beef out. Then we'll have the stock water go into the yam.
The yam? Okay.
Yes. Have it go into the yam. Then we'll add some salt to taste. Then we'll put in our pepper mix. Sometimes, sorry.
Yes, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, some persons might want to go through the process of frying their sauce.
Oh.
Yes,
okay.
I do that sometimes. You want to go through the process of frying your sauce before putting into your bowl. I feel like I like it freshly into the... Yeah.
But you still have oil here. You have vegetable oil here.
Yes.
That wasn't on the list.
Yes.
But what were you planning to use the vegetable oil?
I want to fry the beef, so I'll
Okay.
just have it on the top of.
All right, fantastic. And there you have it. It's a very simple, kind of like a one-pot
dish, yes.
Yes. But give or take, how long, if I'm doing this at home, how long would it take?
For prep, let's say 15 minutes.
Okay.
Then for the cooking process, let's say, give or take 25, 30 minutes.
Okay. So I'm often having this argument with my husband, actually. What do you serve with asaro? Because asaro, to me, has everything inside. But he's someone that always wants something by the side. He wants to see something else there.
You mean protein?
Yeah, well, not necessarily just protein, you know. What are the best things to add to asaro?
Some persons serve with sauce.
Okay.
If you notice, if you go to parties, you have them put some sauce on.
Like a fried sauce.
Yes.
Okay.
You can have veggies go with it alongside as well. Some persons use boiled eggs. I don't really know how that goes, but
okay. Well, yam and egg
want to
always goes. Yam and egg always goes. So
boiled eggs is not my thing. I don't know.
Really? You don't like boiled eggs?
No, for asaro.
Okay.
With asaro.
All right.
I feel like the protein would be like too much.
So I know that if there's a fried sauce and there are boiled eggs in the fried sauce, it works. Anything.
Yes,
boiled
yes,
egg goes with almost anything. You
Anything,
can make it work. So I'm wondering about this yam, though. Are we going to have an adequate amount of time for that yam to soften?
Yes.
What do you think?
What I'm trying to do is, I think the heat here is higher than that. So
Okay.
I'm going to allow this cook for a bit, then I'll just alternate.
Exchange.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So it's a one-pot dish, really simple and easy to put together. Asaro is our dish for the day, right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Let's take a quick break and be back with more.
A smile is the one language or expression that is recognized globally, and we hope our smiles will brighten your day.
I'm smiling.
Wow, Mary, I can't keep up with your energy.
Don't worry, smile at someone today. That's what counts. You'll be surprised how much difference that would make in setting the right tone for the day.
Yes, now this is the exact reason we are in front of your TV screens Monday to Friday to put that 1,000-meter range smile on your face. Now, smile.
No, don't worry, we are not crazy yet. Welcome to the numero uno breakfast television show, Wake Up Nigeria. We have exactly 45 minutes to stretch that smile on your face. Yeah, show us how you stretch it. Ding! Just a little more. Just a little more.
Every everything is better on this side of the divide. The sun is brighter, the sky is much bluer, and even when it rains, it still offers you a splash of great vibes. My name is Tokwe Oluwaniyo.
And my name is Mary Bashua Adimi. And I can't get over the aroma coming from the kitchen. And I'm like, when will this food be served, though?
Very soon, very soon. Can't you see the smile on my own face? Because I'm in charge today. But really, it's always amazing in the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria. On a Wonder Woman Wednesday, it's even better because it's the ladies that get to taste the food.
Chef Blossom, you're definitely going to have to share that recipe with me, or I will just catch up with it on YouTube.
Stock has gone in.
She's already talking about the ingredients. So many things that we're talking about during the break. Well, hey, you can use the hashtag because we want you to also be a part of the show. Okay,
Yes.
It's not just about us. Use the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC across all social media platforms, just so you can be a part of the best breakfast show on television.
Yes, I mean, during the coffee gist, we were talking about Titi mentioned, why are you not in a relationship? Use the hashtag and let us know why you are single.
Yes.
Now, remember, you can watch us live from absolutely anywhere in the world as long as you have internet connection. Use our website, tvcentertainment.tv, and you can download our app available on Android and iOS stores. Allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere.
Just as Tokwe mentioned, make sure you're following us at TVC Connect, okay? On Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And the question today is, why are you not in a relationship?
But if you want to be single, you are free. But just tell us why.
It is cool to be single. It is cool to be married. It is cool to be anything. As I said, just be happy. Straight to the highlights now.
Yes, now Sandra Odufaderi is a marriage and relationship expert. And today, she will be talking to us. Or rather, she'll be sharing her thoughts on the pros and cons of being a full housewife. We haven't even moved from why we're single.
This girl.
We have not finished being single.
Doyisola Wale Bamore is a young independent filmmaker, content creator, producer, and director. Today, she will be discussing her career with us on the show.
It's about time for a news update right now on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyison. We begin with President Muhammadu Buhari's appeal to countries in the West African sub-region and those in the Sahel rocked by security challenges to team up to confront the menace. The president spoke yesterday at the State House, Abuja, while receiving the new special representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Mr. Mahamat Saleh Andif. A Chadian, and he describing the problems as enormous. President Buhari noted that Boko Haram has exacted a heavy toll in terms of lives and resources in Nigeria and some neighboring countries, while Mali equally has a large swathe of the country occupied by militants. President Buhari pledged the assistance of Nigeria to the special representative so that he could succeed in his assignment. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Joint Committee on Army and Defense has screened President Buhari's nominee for position of Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahaya. The screening took place yesterday behind closed doors. Prior to the event, Major General Farouk Yahaya, in his introductory remarks, stated that contrary to public perception, there has been a synergy among security agencies to tackle insurgency, especially since the emergence of the new service chiefs. Major General Yahaya also asked Nigerians to support the military in tackling the insecurity problem. Now let's talk health. The Nigerian government has reopened the administration of the first dose of the Oxford AstraZeneca coronavirus vaccine after it was closed a few weeks ago. The Executive Director of National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Faisal Shuaib, stated that yesterday while updating Nigerians on the status of COVID-19 vaccinations. He calls on anyone from 18 years and above who has not been vaccinated to visit the nearest site for the first dose of the vaccine, asking those who have received their first dose to check their vaccination cards and proceed for the second dose, as the second dose vaccination will end on June 25th. According to him, 1,978,808 and 680,345 first and second doses of vaccine have been administered by the agency, respectively. Meanwhile, the NPHCDA boss says Nigeria will receive an additional 3.92 million doses of Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, latest in early August. Dr. Shuaib, however, did not give the exact dates as to when delivery will take place, but said the information regarding timelines and details will be provided as soon as it's available. The NPHCDA boss raises alarm over the rise in COVID-19 cases in several African countries recently and calls on all Nigerians to continue to take precautions and prevent the spread of the disease.
Welcome back, and yes, this is a segment I am really excited about because our topic is one that is quite touchy, I must say. We have joining us this morning Sandra Odufaderi, a marriage and relationship expert, and she will be talking to us, sharing her thoughts on the pros and cons of being a full housewife. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
Same here.
I'm sure there are a lot of women watching saying, don't touch this topic. But let's talk about it.
Yeah.
First off, let's start with the pros before we hit the negative. What do you think are the advantages of being a full housewife?
Yes. Advantages is that you give all your time to the children, you give all your time to your husband, you give all your time to bringing up the kids. It's actually good if the man can take all the responsibility. I think that's basically, you have to have all the time for the children. Our parents used to do it.
Yeah.
My mom was she still did something anyway, but she had all the time for us. Not like now that we have to leave the house in the morning, come back late, traffic in Lagos and all that. Yeah. So the only major advantage is the children have you to themselves. And your husband have you 100%.
So you're very present in the life of your husband,
the family,
and your kids. Yes, and I mean you take care of your chores. So now, a full housewife, would you say a full housewife should also have a help or a nanny, or being a full housewife gives you that job already?
Of course.
Okay.
Being at home is a whole lot.
Yeah.
You're drained out. Have you ever tried it? You're home, and before you know it, it's 2 o'clock, and you are not done with the kitchen. You still have a lot to do. Full housewife is a whole lot of job. I prefer when I'm even out because I just leave the house, probably come back in the evening to sort things out. But when I'm at home, I wouldn't want to see this dirt. I wouldn't want to see that. Yeah, full housewife is a job. Okay, Some people get paid for it. But don't forget, being a wife is an helpmate.
Yes.
You're meant to help your spouse. You're not meant to just sit there and start bearing kids. You have purpose. You were born for a purpose. You have a destiny that you need to fulfill, right?
And yes.
So that is not all.
But it's also important to know that beyond being a helpmate, your partner is also a helpmate. It's not the responsibility of the woman alone to help.
It's not It's the responsibility of a husband to provide for the home.
But who says so?
It's in the Bible. The man is the head of the home.
Yeah. Okay, so now if we say we're going biblically that the man should be the head of the home and the woman should help, that already puts her in the box of being a housewife. So, but if we're going to say, so now are you saying?
It's not putting her in the box of being a housewife.
Okay.
The woman should help, she should help in taking care of the home. Like, for instance, when a man gets married, he stops thinking about the kitchen, thinking about how the house is going to be tidied, thinking about the children going out. Yesterday, I wasn't feeling fine, to help my children put things together, and my husband helped out. And I saw the way he was sweating after the whole thing, because for that, we don't have a nanny. So I saw the way he called me and said, "Is this what you do every morning?"
But now speaking of this
it's actually a woman's help. But that does not mean full-time housewife means you sit at home, you're not going anywhere. Some of them even have school bus that come pick up the children, so they are not even doing school runs.
Yeah.
All you just need to do is to sit for the children to come back from school, and then you cook for them. You see that husband's clothes is okay. The dry cleaner is doing everything. You're sitting at home and eating, sleeping, watching television, Monday to Sunday. Yeah. That's full-time housewife.
Now, I know we're talking full-time housewife, but I want to quickly digress to something you said. And because I had an Instagram live last week and we talked about this, where you said yesterday your husband helped with taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
Now, isn't it as much his responsibility as it is yours to take care of the kids?
It's his responsibility.
Okay.
But most times, women do it better.
That's because you do not allow the man to do it, because you think that you do it better.
We are Africans. If you are married and your mother-in-law is in the house, and your husband is the one washing the toilet, your husband is the one cooking, doing everything, changing the diaper, she will go and call a family meeting that this woman has tied my son. Yes, we are in Africa. In America, in Europe, you could say the man should do everything, but we are in Africa.
Okay.
So we need to respect our men. You know, African wives are meant to respect. That word respect is always there.
No, this is not
wife.
sitting well with me. So in respecting the man, I have to do everything. Is that what you're saying?
No, you're getting it all wrong.
Please get me.
You're not doing everything. He's assisting you, but your major job as a wife is to take care of the home.
So now, this is
It's not his job to take care of the home. It's his job to provide for the home. Your own job is to take care of the home.
But what if I'm more financially stable than he is?
It doesn't still stop you from respecting your husband. That's where we're all getting it wrong.
I'm not saying I'm going to disrespect
because you're financially stable.
Yes, so that means I can provide.
So he should not be at home and be cooking.
No, I'm not saying that. That's the thing.
We've seen a situation where women earn salary, and they give. First 2 years of my marriage, I earn salary I give to my husband.
Why?
Because then I didn't know how to spend money. My parents brought me up in a way that everything is being done for me. Okay. So when I started making money, I started spending anyhow. But my husband is the conservative type. Yeah. So when I earn for the first 2 years, I give him for us to sort out things.
So
and he manages our money as at that time until I was able to now cope. And
no, but now doesn't that teach you that beyond that, as a woman, beyond being a help, you can also be a provider. You just have to be knowledgeable.
That's why I'm saying I don't encourage full-time housewife. Okay. I don't encourage it.
Fabulous.
You can also do business.
Okay.
You can also run something. Okay. Like a foundation. You can go online and sell stuff. Some people are making. I have a friend. She's in billions. Okay. She's making money. Sometimes she doesn't leave her house maybe 2 or 3 times in a week. Okay. She just do her things online and she's making money. So I don't encourage full-time housewife. One. Why? Because you are destined. You have a destiny. You have children. Yeah. I know how much I spend on my kids. It's not every time you go and ask the husband. Yeah. You have parents that you're going to take care of. You have society to affect. What are you living for? Are you just going to come here, get married, the children grow up, and you give them out? I've seen a situation where a child asked the mom and said, "Mom, what are you? Is it everything you go and ask daddy?" Yeah, time is coming, they will ask you.
They'll ask you that.
They will ask you that. And as a woman, you also need to plan. Even no matter how wealthy your husband is, one day he will need your help.
Of course.
Sometimes he wants to do a project, and he's like, oh, that's why a woman is there, and you're like, okay, you need this money. There was something that went on social media viral some time ago. A woman saved a lot of money. Her husband lost her job, and she brought out the money, and she said it was from what she was making and she was saving over the years that she's giving back to her husband. That is a super support system. No man wants a liability. I can tell you that for free. I'm sure. No man wants a woman. He cannot beat his hand to his chest and say, I want to do this stuff. What can you help?
But imagine that no man wants a liability, but then that same man still wants you to be a housewife. How are you now supposed to provide?
You break your way out. I broke my way out. After 5 years of our marriage, my husband said he doesn't want me to work anymore. Okay. And then I sat down for 1 year. I almost went depressed. I practically broke my way out. I became very submissive. I told him I'm ready to do anything you want me to do. And then I started rising until I got to where I want to be. And then I'm happy. Now he comes to me and says, oh, sometimes he needs help. And he's like, can you do this? Okay. He's happy. Is it not better if I was at home? Would I be looking like this?
You wouldn't.
I would just be getting fatter and big.
Thank you so much, Sandra. There's so much I want to touch on this topic, but you know what? We have to let you go.
Yeah,
we have Titi standing by for social media. Titi, please take it away.
Yeah, speaking of social media, I can't wait to see your responses to what Sandra Odufadiri has to say about that particular topic of being a full housewife. Delicate stuff. Another delicate topic is something we started out with earlier on. Mary Ann Tokwe and myself, we had a little bit of a conversation earlier on this post. Now, we found a post online that asks, why are you single? There's a list of options here from 1 to 9. It says, 1, by choice. 2, no one wants me. 3, waiting for the right person. 4, we just broke up. 5, I'm too ugly for a relationship. 6, I gave up on love. 7, I don't know. 8, I'm waiting for a miracle. 9, the person was taken. So what is your response to that particular post? We have about 10 comments here on Facebook at TVC Connect. But ladies, you know, we didn't get to talk about that last one. That last one, the person I want is taken. Oh, really? Is he the only one? Mary, what do you think? Talk about what do you think?
Babe, let's just take these comments.
Yeah,
because
sure.
if we start our own talk, we'll not finish. So let's just take a look at the comments.
All right, so the first comment we have here is from Eva Arutiba. Number 1 is my choice. It's my choice to be single. I'm single and happy. Okay? It says, King Savage here says, waiting for the right person. All the girls I know want to be my friend, so I'm using that opportunity to look at their character, okay? We have one from Abiodun Alegbejo. It says here, simply because I'm 3, simply because I'm 3, I'm not sure what 3 is. What was 3 again? Simply because I'm 3, waiting for the right person, simply because I'm waiting for the right person. I recently, I don't know, this comment is really just bringing in the numbers here. It's really complicated. I'm going to have to go back to that one. Michael Benga Adebowale says, waiting for the right person. Shegun Silva says, I don't know why I don't know. Letter Y. Paul Essien says, I don't know. Bolu Atife says, by choice. Olamilekan Bakari Afi says, na confidence I no get. We also have one from Antonia Anthony, waiting for the right person. But I'm wondering if there's anyone out there that has that number 9 in mind. The person I want is taken. Let's head over for a quick break. We have much more coming up very soon.
Time for us to have yet another conversation, this time with Doyinsola Wale Bamure. She is a young independent filmmaker, content creator, producer, and director. She's a self-taught photographer, and she holds a postgraduate degree in film production from Sheridan. And upon completion of a postgraduate degree, she got a distribution deal with CBC for a documentary she co-produced about colorism and racial prejudice. This same passion birthed a most recent documentary, Shades of Lagos. And it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us, Doyinsola.
Thank you.
You look so petite. Yes. Considering everything you've achieved, most people always believe, okay, when you talk about this, that, you just expect this big burly person to walk in, and then she just walks in, Doyinsola, like, yeah, it's me, I did that. Well, it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Your story as a producer, a director, in fact, you wear many hats.
I do.
How did it all start?
I would say, like, for me, filmmaking has always been something like I just always did, but like I didn't realize like what I was doing. So I always used to like take pictures, and then in university I kind of took that serious, and I was like known as the female photographer in school and all of those things. And with photography made me want to do cinematography, which I really wanted to like go to film school for. Okay. And I was going to like stop halfway through uni and just forget about that and go concentrate on like filmmaking.
What were you studying in uni?
Mass communication, which was in line, right?
Yeah.
So my dad was just like, just finish what you already started. Like, it's very big on just finishing what you start, right? So I finished that, and immediately, like, I went to study film. And it was there I realized that it was not just cinematography I could do producing, I could do directing. And from there, like, it has just been, like, me constantly working in the industry.
Now, for someone who started from Nigeria,
yes,
it's interesting that since you went to film school, this is just about the first project you'll be doing that is Nigerian.
Yes.
Now, before we talk about Shades of Lagos, which is that Nigerian project, let's talk about other projects you've handled. Yes. So what other stuff have you done?
So in Toronto, I work as a production coordinator on, like, films. A lot of films are shot in Toronto. Like, a lot of Hollywood films are shot in Toronto. So with that, I found myself working in production coordination. But with that, like, you're not really pushing a certain dream. You're just working to make the next dollar and stuff. So I knew that I would have a better chance coming back and fighting for my own like journey, my filmmaking journey to like create my own stuff. Because back in Toronto, I'm just working for another person's dream. I'm just like pushing another person's story forward, more or less. Like it's possible there, but I just felt like for me, I wanted to be able to do something that was very Nigerian, because you can only tell stories that you know. Like you can only tell stories that you've been through. And I'm very big on telling like Afrocentric stories. So I knew that my first project in Nigeria would be something that is not only educating, but also enlightening. Like, people claim the ignorance of not knowing where Lagos is, like, in the outside world. But, like, if there's something that shows you, like, oh, we don't speak, like, Africans, or we don't speak, like, we speak English. Like, most people don't even know that simple fact that we speak, like, really good English in Lagos or, like, in Nigeria. So, like, I wanted something in that line.
Okay, so that's what birthed Shades of Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about Shades of Lagos.
Shades of Lagos is actually, I've spoken about it so much that I think I've even lost the pronunciation. But Shades of Lagos is supposed to be a social impact documentary. So it wasn't like in any way, shape or form political, historical or geographical. Like we've seen documentaries that tells you where Lagos is and shows you all of those things. I wanted something that would explore the lifestyle lived in Lagos. Like everybody here today can say that, oh, they enter traffic or like...
More like Lagos from a Lagosian's point of view.
Exactly. And I actually tagged it Story of Lagos by Lagosians, because like other people cannot be telling our stories. We have to be the one to tell our own story, more or less. So that was kind of how that started.
Okay, so you brought about... how were you able to do this? Like, did you take time off work? Or did you have somebody handling the project for you while you were trying to oversee? How did you pull it off?
God. It's very cliche to say about God, because I shot it in 1 month. So I had just 1 month off work to come do that. So a lot of the things I did was via emails and phone calls while I wasn't here. But the thing with it is, because of how sensitive, like sending emails, most people are very skeptical that it's very authentic or who I am who I say I am, right? So I didn't really get as much response that I would have come in
until
and then meeting people in person. So like that was kind of the deal with that. But
besides that, okay, you know what? I would really like us to take a look at a clip from Shades of Lagos.
Yeah, sure.
But before we do so, tell me, what else are you working on? What are the projects you have in mind? Tell me all about that.
I guess I'll just say it. I'm supposed to be working on a feature film. That currently is in pre-production, and fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan. But yeah, it's supposed to be a fictional feature film. It's not a documentary or any of those other things, because I think I've done that, and now I'm taking on a new challenge, which is very scary, because like...
I can imagine. So you know how you take a challenge, just as you said.
Yes.
It's more like a risk.
Yes.
And then it pays off, so to speak. Is this a point in your life where you're thinking, okay, maybe I should focus more on this? Or are you still like, maybe I should still keep drawing the dollar to spend on this for now?
Yeah.
Or you're still at that point that you're like, I don't know, let me just hold on to my job. Every now and then I can just do this. Which one are you in?
So I was at that crossroad, I would say March and April, when I was still contemplating coming, because like I decided to come for like a longer period of time that I had come like the previous time. So I knew that I had to like make the decision right there and then. And I remember calling my dad to ask him, oh, what do you think? And he was like, you're supposed to tell me what you think. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm now an adult and I have to make those decisions. But yeah, that crossroad was basically me thinking that would it be better like a year after like a pandemic, coming back here to like screen a documentary that I did in 2020, and things have a lot of things have changed. If I've shot that documentary right now, people would say, even if I got the same people, they would say completely different things, right? Yes. So I had that dilemma of picking like what was the right decision, but I was just like, you never know unless you try. So I just packed my bags and literally packed my bags again.
Wow. That's a huge leap for you. I really hope it pays off.
And I hope it pays off.
Exactly.
Nigeria.
Like, I really hope it pays off, because that's a huge leap with the way the world is right now.
Yes.
You know what? You probably wouldn't be able to really understand what she means by all she has put into this until you take a look at the clip. So let's take a look at Shades of Lagos while We try to get shades of asaro.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing, amazing,
if
amazing.
If you can live in Lagos, you can live anywhere.
Absolutely. Very true, very true. Welcome to the kitchen. And
Thank you.
Course, we have Chef Blossom,
Hi.
who has made something special for us. Here we have asaro. I keep saying asharo. Asaro. Yeah, right?
Yes,
Talk to us
right.
a little bit about the process quickly.
Okay, so we had our beef stock going to the asaro, and then we had our chopped yam in bits. You don't want to have it too bulky because it won't get done fast. Then we have our ugu pumpkin leaf for garnish,
All right.
and then pepper mix.
All right, beautiful.
And the aroma is sizzling.
So now
Yes,
it's
it
your
is.
chance to taste what the chef has put together. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Hope you're not fasting.
Thank God I'm not fasting because it looks already so good.
All right. So what do you think?
That's actually pretty good.
All right.
Okay. So what's your rating? You're going to rate it over 10. But taste the yam so that it can give us full,
Okay, yeah, I have to give
full
the complete,
analysis.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you a yam fan?
Yes, I am.
You're a yam
Okay.
fan.
I'll give it a solid 9.
Oh.
Because I can't give it 10.
You're in Nigeria.
I have to take one.
But I have to say, you know, they say people that are super slim don't eat that much. Is that true? Will you finish this plate?
They eat a lot.
They'll
Me, I eat, so I don't know.
Yes,
You
I'm going
can't
to
eat
finish this
different.
food.
I eat.
Please, you have to finish it. But while she's getting into the food there, we have to wrap it up on this Wonder Woman Wednesday. Woohoo! Who runs the world, people? Girls. Mary, how are you doing over there?
Oh, I'm doing great. I can't wait to dig into the asaro.
You're fasting today, Mary.
Yeah,
Who's
we're
fasting?
Who told you I'm fasting?
I lie. Mary is heading over here pretty soon, but you should stay right there as well because your view is next.
All right,
now
guys.
on TVC. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.